Um, Hi guys. This video might be uh, a little harder for me to make, a lot harder than my normal videos, but I want to make it because you guys are my subscribers and a lot of you have been with me through a while, and I want to help you guys by sharing my story. Sorry. I'm gonna go to where it really started. I was 9, and I had been getting bullied since kindergarten, but then when I was in 3rd grade, that's when it really started getting bad. They'd push me with backpacks, and that doesn't sound like bad, but with a bunch of books, it kind of hurt, and they, a couple times hit me, and a couple times it got physical, bullying. I still remember going home one day and sobbing on my bed, just wondering, why me? Why me? Why did they choose to pick on me? Now, I was just different. I didn't prefer to, I wanted to be social. I really did, but I just would prefer to read instead. And I was just different. They didn't like that. They didn't understand it. And there was a literal fist fight one time where this kid stood up for me. That's how bad this kid was treating me. We're going to call him BL. That's how bad BL was treating me. So that this student had enough of it, and the teacher had to break it up. And then a while later, you see, since I had no friends basically because of him, I would collect rocks at recess and put them in my lunchbox. It was after recess, and he kicked my lunchbox and said, "She's not going to do anything about it." And I was so sick of it that I just hit him with my lunchbox, and he punched me in the shoulder. And the teacher came out, and it wasn't much of a fight, but the teacher just came out, and I don't know. I don't even know if she called my parents, to be honest. I hope she did. That school I was in really let me down and let my parents down for knowing important things like that. I remember one day I had this best friend, and I go and I see her sitting with BL instead of me, because I always sat on the edge, always alone. And my heart kind of broke a little bit. 4th grade was when the bullying sort of stopped, but I still remember walking into the classroom and thinking, oh gosh, how am I going to defend myself this year? And that's when I can remember starting to hear things. I had this thing, I don't know what to call it. It's not human. It's not really a demon, but its name was Mary. And Mary was my best friend. Because at first, it was okay having her around, but she got meaner and meaner. And I remember trying to take my life in the bathroom after the talent show that I was in. And two girls came in, so I stopped and I put the scarf away. And I just walked back like everything was fine, because that's what people who are suicidal tend to do. They tend to act like everything is fine, even if it's not. And I remember just like I had some friends at this point. There was one I was really close to. We're gonna call her E. And one day my parents come and they tell me, "Oh, we're moving schools," and I was so excited. I was like, I can make a new name for myself. Maybe this will be better, right? Now, at this point, I had already had therapist visits. I had already been diagnosed depression and bipolar, even though it wasn't bipolar, it was schizophrenia. And I went to 5th grade, and I had this amazing teacher that really helped me and treated me like a normal student, and that made me feel so happy. And somehow all the class was friends, and it made me feel good. But I was in the hospital a few times that year, the mental hospital. I don't remember much of that, but I do remember coming back, and the teacher even visited me during visiting hours, and honestly, I was so shocked that someone had gone what she did. She had also gone so far that she bought a book on the Holocaust, knowing I liked reading about that, and had the whole class sign it and gave it to me as a present, and I wanted to cry. Sorry, guys. I wanted to cry because it just made me feel like someone outside my family cared. And then 6th grade came, and my parents told me a family secret. They told me that the dad who had been raising me was not my biological father, and that biological father was in fact a schizophrenic he's insane. I can't remember meeting him. I don't remember much from that because it was, hang on, let me check that. It was that long ago, but I cried, and I had this toxic friend at the time. I know, me and the toxic friends, and her name was G, and I went to G's house and I cried, and she told me everything was going to be alright. But later into the year, a little more, G kind of was walking past and was so embarrassed. She just did like the hide your face thing and hope they don't see you, or pretend you don't know them when she was with her friends, and that hurt. But I was used to getting hurt at that point. I was used to disappointments. And 6th grade, I was in the hospital more times for trying to kill myself. Oh gosh, I'm getting demonetized now, aren't I? And for self-harm. I had a really good therapist at the time, but life just was a bit difficult. I remember my friends having to pull me back from the edge of, we lived in an apartment complex, so you'd go up the stairs and there was a rail. I remember my friends pulling me back from the rail because I kept trying to jump. And one time I was with my friends, and the voices told me, "You can fly." Yeah, I can't fly. I don't know what went through my mind, but I didn't. A lot of the schizophrenia moments are kind of a blur, or they're either like super, super strong. Like there's not really an in-between for me. But I was hurt. I was in theater, so I was in a play, and I met this boy, and this boy happened to enjoy smoking weed, and we talked a little bit. I said that, oh yeah, cutting is way better than smoking weed, because I was still doing that, and I got curious and wanted to try some, but I still had a little bit of common sense in me, and I didn't, honestly, because here's the thing, a lot of the side effects of drugs, I've already had them. I've already hallucinated, and not by choice, not because I did anything, but because my brain functions differently. I've already had the depression and the paranoia, and it makes me angry that people want to go and have that, because I know people react differently, but why would you want to try that? It's scary, honestly. I remember seeing my family dead with their eyes gouged out, and I was terrified, and I wanted them to wake up, but it wasn't real, and I don't get how people could want to see things that aren't there, because it's scary. It really is terrifying. I went to 7th grade. 7th grade I tried my best to make it through. I really did try my best. At this point, my family is a lot more open about it. We've always been an open family, but we watched 13 Reasons Why, and my parents were like, okay, what could she have done differently to not kill herself or not commit suicide? And it was kind of like a learning experience. My sister watched it too, and I remember she said she got a flashback, but it was a memory of when Hannah killed herself. She got a memory of seeing me try to jump, and that made me feel really bad, honestly, because that's not something anybody should see. My friends at the time had to see it. My sister had to see it. That's got to be terrible, especially for a kid, and I did try to apologize to them, honestly. One of them's just too hard to talk to, though. And 7th grade was a little bit better. I will say that. It's when I finally started to get my stuff in order and realize I need to do something before I'm like this forever. I had become bulimic. I was anorexic at first, and I just was sitting in a chair and I passed out, and I woke up and I was on the floor and the chair was on the ground with me. I'm like, sister, what the heck happened? And she's like, oh yeah, you passed out. I tried to wake you up. And we called Mom, and I was rushed to the hospital. And they made me drink some fluids. I wasn't in a bad state to where I needed an injection for something, but I did have to eat goldfish, and my eating was monitored, because it's not like I was doing it on purpose, but I was sleeping so much and I forgot to eat, and it sounds stupid forgetting to eat, but I really did. But then when I became bulimic, because the medicine caused me to gain weight, and I felt so fat that I just ate and vomited it up. And this went on for a little while, and I can't even remember when I stopped. I have stopped. I just don't remember the day. I've stopped, yeah. But like I said, it was a blur. There was so much going on, and my head just couldn't process all of it. And, but you might be wondering, why am I telling you this? Because maybe there's somebody who can relate. Someone who's had the struggles. And maybe they need someone to relate to. And that's kind of the whole reason I started my YouTube channel. I wanted to help people like me who just needed a voice when they couldn't speak. Thank you.